Okay, now we have the track buses selected. I know that my signal is going to the reverb and is going to the reverb post fade. If I want the pan to be preserved, the pan of the dry signal preserved, I need to select the bottom pan. And when I do that, you can see on the track buses that my signal of the voice is only on the right or is only on the left. But this forces you to have the same volume of the original sound exactly as the send to the reverb, which is not always the nice thing to do. So what you want to do for the reverb is to make use of one of these beautiful auxiliary send, the one we use for the headphones cue. So if you choose the best one, so the auxiliary send, and you turn it on, and then you press the button that says EFX. Sorry, I can't see a thing, so I need to go there. So EFX there. Now you have that the track buses volume is dictated not anymore by the fader, but by this dude here. In fact, look at the track buses. There is absolutely no sound. Oopsie, no sound there. It will go away because it's waiting for my volume to be raised here. And there's your reverb back again. We can do it now once more with the speakers on. There's a fire within my soul. You hear the nice reverb. And I can even pan it. But the volume is connected with my fader. The send is connected to my fader. If instead I want to replace that, I turn on my stereo cue and nothing's happening. It's still connected with here. I need to activate the EFX button, and now there's no more reverb because the reverb is dictated by this, which I turn, and I can feed independently from my fader, which is also good. Of course, you can make this post and then it defeats the purpose, but the idea is to use it in pre and send it through a good signal up there. How about this, huh? So you have your independent vocal, and you also have the pan into the reverb, which is there. So you can pan on the right of the reverb and on the left the original sound, and that's the way to do it. From now on that I have my reverb, the operations that I have are two. I can just do another mix down recording. So I select my mix down track and I do a new playlist, or and record it. So I press 3 and I input my reverb in there. Or I can print the reverb before going and commit to the mix. And how do you print it is exactly the same situation. So we know that the reverb is coming back from Pro Tools. We put it into line in 15 and 16. So simply you can create Command Shift N, a stereo track, and call it, let me put the microphone down, and call this track Reverb Print, and set it on 15 and 16 as an input. And the output, you need to behave exactly like when you output the final mix. So you put it on a channel outside the range of the console and even mute it because you don't want to hear. And all you need to do now is to record, and you can record the amount of reverb. So you see now, maximum reverb, 0 reverb. And that gets recorded in Pro Tools. So now that we've done this, in the same criteria you can have a reverb going into your mix, but also a compressor using the hardware here. And on the patch bay, I'm going to show you now, it's super easy. So what if I also want to, in my mix, add this nice compressor up here. First I turn it on, and then I'm using a dedicated track bus output for that. So I'm going to go 7 and 8 of my track bus will be my compressor in the outboard gear. And of course I need to do the same practice here. So that's the compressor 2500. The input, I need to look at output and input. I want the input left, I want the input right, and I know my whatever channel I select to go in the track buses 7, 8, they will go into my compressor. But again, I want to hear my compressor, so I'm gonna plug the output right and the output left. And where do I plug it in? I want to hear it in my console. So what I can do, I can put it back into an extra channel. So let's say that 17 and 18, 17 is the vocals, but I can put it in 18 and 19, left and right. And so I will create the cycle for the compressor as well, exactly like the reverb. Now let's go audition the compressor there. On the console, I obviously 18 and 19 is my compressor, and I'm right here. And here's my fader. I put left and right, pan, and I turn on the mix buses. And whenever I press play, if I assign the vocals to the 7 and 8 as well, you can see that the compressor gets fed by the sound of the vocals. So I remove the vocals, and they're not compressed. Here they are compressed. Then obviously the compressor setting, you need to learn how to use the compressor, which requires you to decide the threshold that it will be active on, and then you use how fast it should intervene with the attack, the ratio of aggression of this attack, so how powerful will be the compression, so 1 dB, 2 dB, 3 dB, etc. And then how fast it will go away when the signal is below this threshold. Then there are different other settings. What is interesting of this type of compression is that you have a button here where you can see the input level, you can see the output level, and you can say the gain reduction level, so how much is reduced by the settings that you're currently having. So it's quite handy to use this type of professional compressors.